Instead of switches that sound like, in this video we'll be showcasing switches that sound deeper and closer to. First up, the TTC Venus and Neptunes. From a technology and design perspective, these are the most revolutionary switches we're showcasing today. The Venus and Neptune switches are pretty much identical, just with different colors. They have nearly the same actuation and bottom out forces, with only about a 2 gram difference between them, and these are quite light, lighter than around 3/4 of all switches out there. But what really sets these switches apart is what's inside. Take a look at the top housing of a normal switch, and now compare that to the top housing of the Venus and Neptunes. Notice something different? That's right, these feature a unique track structure that you won't find in any other switch. Throughout the entire keystroke, the stem glides along this track, resulting in a switch that is structurally smoother than anything else on the market. When I tested these out, they felt incredibly refined and well considered. Best of all, the Venus and Neptune switches have a deep sound signature. Here's the sound test for reference. The Keygeek Y2 switches have one of the most unique sound profiles I've heard. They basically sound like you're knocking on a wooden table, but with a fuller, muted sound profile. But what creates the Y2's distinctive acoustic signature is Keygeek's innovative waffle stem tip molding. Let's open the switch up and zoom in. This grid-like design reduces the contact surface area, reducing impact on bottom out, which lends itself to an extremely deep sound profile. Combined with full nylon housings, it really accentuates that Thocky sound. These Y2s are also quite low in volume compared to broader options. Keygeek is known for great factory lube, and this is also the case here. Plus, with a 48 gram actuation and 53 gram bottom out, these sit around the median. They're lighter than 60% of switches out there. If you're interested in them, we offer them at $350 per 10, and you get free shipping on orders over $49. Use the link in the description to support the channel. Now, here's how these Y2s sound. When discussing Thocky switches, it'd be a mistake to leave out kazoo switches. Kazoo switches are one of the OG enthusiast grade switches, particularly among those who prefer a deeper sound profile. Kazoo switches have a unique material blend that gives each keystroke a deep and satisfying thock. When it comes to feel, as I use the U4Ts, I find the texture is smooth but features a distinct matte-like feel. The best way I can put this is sort of visually. It's like the difference between a glossy and a matte finish, kazoo switches being the latter. Each press has a round and pronounced tactile bump. It's heavier than around 2/3 of all switches in our selection. Now, when it comes to versions, we particularly like the black top version for maximum thock. The RGB version is a tad bit clackier by comparison, but both are thocky all things considered. So if you need RGB, then get the RGB variant. Despite the continuous release of new switches, the U4Ts have established themselves as a modern classic. Their enduring popularity, consistently remaining in our top 10 bestsellers, really reflects their timeless appeal. Here's the sound test. For my best overall Thocky tactile, I'm going with the TTC Bluish White switches. For some, this might not be a surprise at all, given that these are the non-silent versions of the silent Bluish Whites, which happen to be my favorite silent tactile switches. They offer a gentle tactile bump, quite different from the U4Ts. While the U4Ts have a big round bump, Bluish Whites provide a more subdued, gentle tactile experience. In fact, with a 50 gram bottom out, they are lighter than about 90% of all switches on the market. So if you prefer more subdued tactility with a deep sound signature, these Bluish Whites might just be the perfect switches for you. Here's the sound test. Rounding out our top 5, when it comes to my favorite Thocky linear, I'm going with the Everglide Aqua Kings. I've had the pleasure of trying out over 150 different switches, and the Aqua Kings are truly something special. The factory lube job on these is top notch, thanks to Everglide. Out of all the switches I've tested, these stand out with an unparalleled smoothness that I find lush and creamy. Even though these switches come with polycarbonate housings, they deliver a deeper sound signature, which is quite impressive. The 62 gram bottom out puts them right in the middle weight-wise. Not too light, not too heavy, just perfect. If you're on the hunt for a switch that combines smoothness, a satisfying weight, and a rich sound, Aqua Kings should definitely be on your radar. Here's the sound test. Now, here are back-to-back sound tests of all the switches we talked about today. But if you want to explore more creamy switches, make sure to watch this video here. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.